Up, y'all? What's happening? This is your girl, Sis-Lo, and there's another newsworthy update. What's going on, everybody? I am feeling like so hoarse, like my throat is hoarse. My voice was gone, well, throat was sore for a few days, and it's three of us in the household going through the same thing. And I think it's an upper respiratory infection because, like, my head, my ears, and then it settles in my chest. But overall, I'm okay. God is good. I'm a grow above ground, and I got a lot to be grateful for. Another day, another opportunity to get this thing called life right, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Well, I wanted to start out saying, if you are not already subscribed, just hit that subscription button. All right, and hit like, leave your comments. And as always, you can support the channel. My cash app is $ SISLO. That's me. That's me. I wanted to start out saying, I'm hoping and praying that everyone is having a blessed and prosperous and beautiful day, because this is a day that the Lord have made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. And in spite of all of our shortcomings, all of our indifferences, all of our problems and isms and schisms, God allowed us to be here. So we still got another chance, right? We have another chance and another opportunity to say, of course. So, we like that old school music, the new Jack Swing kind of thing, the neo soul kind of thing, and of course the Motown sound. I ain't gonna ever get old. But I was watching some videos. Excuse me, my raspiness. I'm a little more raspy than usual, anyway. So, I was watching a video, and I was watching a recent performance of Jodeci. And when I saw it, I was looking at the fact that Casey and JoJo, Devontae, and all of those guys were out doing a performance quite recently. And for many people that don't know, JoJo had a stroke. So it affected his ability to speak properly. So he's having some speech issues. And of course, we know that if you are not able to speak, you're not able to sing as well. Not in some cases, because there are some instances, which is miraculous to me, that some people are not able to talk, but they can sing. But he was on stage with his brother and his bandmates, and he was attempting to sing, and much to everyone's dismay, he was like not hitting the right notes, and it was off key and things like that. He was really straining. He was trying so hard, and he didn't want to give up. So, they, KC kind of held his hand up to kind of like honor him in a way. And he said, man, we got this, we got it, we got it. But he did not want to go off stage. He was still reaching for the mic, and they were trying to play it off or whatever. But he did not want to leave the stage. And my heart goes out to him, because Casey and JoJo have been singing since like when I lived in North Carolina. And my baby girl was born in North Carolina. And they have been singing since way back when. And when you are a kid and you come up, your parents singing quartet, and then you singing, and it's all you know. And he loves to sing. And no ability to do is that he loves to do, and that That's his bread and butter. Yeah, really, after the issues with drug and alcohol addiction, getting themselves together, getting their vocals sounding good stuff. Was still sounding good. They was still sounding good. He, he's like, oh my God, he probably be like of that old guy on the wheelchair still rocking. So I'm just praying that he will work. It's not impossible. And with the therapy and things like that, and physical therapy, I'm pretty sure that, some of it really that. I just want to encourage and say, don't stop, don't give up. And how many of us have those things that we love, really, we and a desire for those things we driven by, it's in us. And we have a calling, so to speak, to do these things. And then all of a sudden something attacks you, whether it be physically, mentally, financially, or whatever the case may be. And it attacks you in such a way that it stifles you from being able to accomplish that thing that you desire to do, that thing that you have the passion to do. And now you are hindered because whatever this roadblock that is coming your way, it has affected you, that you lost your ability to be able to do that thing, walk, talk, speak, hear, function, whatever the case may be. And guess what? Those things don't necessarily have to be things like a stroke. They could be things like a broken relationship, something that you're going through financially. It can take the life out of you. It can take your breath away. It can take you to and have you incapacitated. You are not able to move, to function, to breathe, to do anything because this thing has affected you so bad, right? So, with that being said, even with with your therapy, whether it be occupational therapy, whether it be mental therapy, whatever it is, whether it be closing yourself in your closet, in your secret prayer closet, and praying with God and seeking the face of God and not just the hand of God. So let me tell you the difference. Seeking the hand of God, you're seeking God to handle a particular thing for you. But when you're seeking the face of God, you're seeking God's presence, not just for that thing, but in your life to overtake it, to overthrow it, to permanently be with you. And you have that relationship with Him, right? So I'm sorry, nephew's coming to me. So anyway, when you uh, seek the hand and when you seek the face of God, God is ever present with you. And those things that you long for, those things that you are reaching out to Him for and that you're searching for, you no longer have to worry about it because He walks with you. He talks with you. He ministers to you. He keeps you. He heals you. And you are able to continue. And He will actually heal whatever that situation, because we know that with God, all things are possible, and there's nothing that's too hard for Him. There's nothing that God can't do. God is omnipotent, God is omniscient, and God is omnipresent. That means omnipresent means He's everywhere. Omnipotent means that He's all powerful, and omniscient means He's all knowing. He knows everything, and there's absolutely nothing that He cannot accomplish, that He cannot do, that He cannot overcome or overthrow, right? So with all of this in mind, just keep in mind that whatever that thing that is that's hindering you, that's keeping you from accomplishing Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Um, so whatever it is that you have aspired to do, there's absolutely nothing that God can't do to make that thing possible again. I don't care how broken you feel. I don't care how wounded you are. I don't care how incapacitated you might be. It does not matter. With God, all things is possible. And don't give up. Okay? Don't give up. I don't care what the enemy speaks to you. And see, it's the enemy's job to kill, to steal, and to destroy, right? And let's just look at it in a natural sense. He comes to steal your dreams. He comes to kill your inner man, right? He wants to kill you, period. That means your function, your ability, your brain, your body, whatever it is, your finances. He wants everything. He wants to dead you. He wants to steal your vision because your vision is important. That thing that has been that you have aspired to you to do, that you are called to do, it's not by happenstance. Everybody can't do everything. Okay? So there are some things that I'm called to do that some of y'all are not called to do. There are some things that some of y'all called to do that I'm not called to do. You hold a key that unlocks the door to another person's destiny, right? So, in other words, God gave you the key to the door of finances. Someone else has a key to the door of education. Some, again, check this out. Some have the key to ministry. Some have the key to comedic ability to make people laugh. Some people have the ability to heal other people. Whatever it is that is given to you, that ability that's given to you, God is giving you that ability for a reason. And can't nobody else do it. I don't care who you allow to be your key holder. If they open their door and walk through it, they still cannot accomplish what you were called to do. And this, when the enemy comes to try to steal that thing from you, it's your job to stand up against that enemy and tell them, devil, you're a liar. You know that song, the old school song, uh, this joy I have, the Lord did give it, and they can't take it away. That is a true song. What God has given you, can't nobody take it away. The last time I came on, I talked about the race being given to the swift, not being given to the swift or the strong, but to the one that endures to the end. We talked about staying in your lane. We talked about accomplishing those things and calling those things that be not as though they were, and all of these types of things. Well, pretty much the same thing is in this situation. This is your lane, and no one else can run your race in your lane. Because what? They can become disqualified. So what God called you to do is uniquely designed just for you. But let me tell you something. It's this the sad side of what JoJo Haley is going through. You cannot misuse or abuse what you were called to do. Because there are consequences, right? You cannot use or abuse, or you cannot not maybe not even use or abuse. You cannot overutilize or underutilize or over or under appreciate the gifts that are in you. Because guess what? There are consequences to that. So perhaps JoJo went way over the line when it came to certain abuses to his body. Or maybe he didn't go far enough to maintain his body. We talked about that the last time. So these are one of the consequences. As a result, he had a stroke. As a result of the stroke, his gift was affected. And the same thing for us. We can abuse or underuse or underappreciate or overappreciate Over appreciation means that pride steps in, that arrogance steps in, and you start thinking it's more you than God. God is a jealous God, and He's gonna have nobody before Him. So when you start abusing that, what God has given you, God got the ability to come and take it back, or he got what we won't say take it back, but He will allow the enemy to come in and attack you. He'll take those that their hands of protection from around you, and the enemy can come because we know that gifts and callings are without repentance. So He don't necessarily take your gift away, but He can allow them to be stripped from you by the enemy because of your misuse and your abuse, and you're not keeping the conditions of your walk with Him. So therefore, there are consequences. It's consequences to all of us. Okay, I eat too much pop, you get cavities. Amen. Talk to me. You gain weight. Amen. Talk to me. You retain water. Amen. Talk to me. You eat too much candy. My dad used to say all the time, girl, stop eating all that candy. You're going to regret it when you land back in that dentist chair with that drill in your mouth. And Lord Jesus. Well, my dad is right. So there are some things that we will regret because we abused it or we got too prideful and we thought it was more us than God. That ain't gonna allow that. So when it comes to that, baby, all I'm saying to you is be grateful. Be grateful for the things that you have. Be faithful to the word of God. Be faithful for the will of God in your life. Okay? I'm sorry, y'all. My throat is so dry in this little heat. So I just wanted to say that now. Let me say this part. We get so easily distracted. And the enemy tries to take us away to take our focus off, right? I'm trying to post there we go. Hey, what's up? We get so, oh, shoot, Lori. We get so easily distracted. And sometimes we forget and we get off focus, but it's okay. God knows us because we're human. And to err is human. So just repent, go about your business, and come on back. It'll be all right. God don't get so angry with you that He won't forgive you. You got to sometimes forgive yourself. So that's all I wanted to say about that particular situation. But we want to continue to pray for JoJo and pray that he will recover and that this is not the end of it. Encourage him, let him know that this is not permanent. This is just a what you call uh, a little stumbling block. But God is going to fix him, repair him, and make him. Amen. So yeah, that's that. The other thing is that I wanted to say that they're doing that. They've been talking about this Roberta Flack. I heard being really, really ill. They've been doing different things and giving tributes and things like that. Pray her family. Hey, God, y'all, you heard about this actor? Oh my God, Sands. I think his last name is Sands. He went hiking back in January, and they haven't found him yet. Yeah, he went hiking. Him and another individual. I don't know if they went. I know that the other individual went separate. 75-year-old man. and he got lost, but they got him. They found him, and he ended up being hospitalized. And he's okay. But this other hiker, they have not found him in yet. This actor, they have not found him yet. And it's been since January. And that is terrible. And we had a situation here. I got to look up on this part where a 4-year-old boy was found wandering, and they found his parents, but he's in CPS right now. But some grown person dropped the baby off like they were dropping him off at an abandoned house. The house was owned by whoever the house was owned by sent someone to change the locks and that on the house because squatters were occupying the home and they didn't want them to continue to get in. And so when he went to go in the house, the little boy was ran in the house like he was going in his house. He wasn't there, he was in his by himself. When they asked him, he said, me and my mama slept in last night. But his mother was nowhere to be found. And it was just him. So the person working on the house where the little boy was found called the police, and the police came and took him, got him a little happy meal, whatever, a 4-year-old boy. And they found the parents, but like I really wonder, like, how the heck did this happen? How did this baby end up staying in a abandoned house that he was so big? He thought it was his house. He said him and his mom slept there last night. Mother nowhere to be found, father nowhere to be found, and the people on the block that saw him get dropped off said somebody in a silver trailblazer dropped him off and kept going. Like they was dropping him off at a home, a 4-year-old. So I pray to God they get to the bottom of that situation. I don't even know if he said the person that dropped him off, they said was a female. And he called her by her name. He even knew that lady. Why would you leave this baby at an abandoned house and he didn't even go to see him? Somebody was inside to receive him. That was crazy. Listen, let me tell you something. Everybody with kids don't deserve them. Everybody with kids don't deserve them. I don't know what this situation was now. Now listen, it could have been anything. It could have been anything. And right now, the way some things are, some of these young ladies leave their children with people while they go to work because they have to go to work, and they leave with people that they trust, and then the children is put in harm's way. We've heard a lot about that. 2 babies back to back were killed by babysitters that were friends with their mothers. One baby, 1 year old, the lady admitted to picking that baby up and body slamming him against the wall and killing him. The other woman admitted to beating the baby to death, and she was the girl's best friend, supposedly. So you just can't leave. And then they had, so many different situations where women leaving their children with these boyfriends that's not the fathers of the kids. And then when she leaving, she go to work, he's driving her car. Take the boy in the store, in the party store, liquor store with her. And the baby walking behind him, he knows the baby is following the boy. He opens up the beer cooler, and while the baby was walking in the beer cooler, he met him and opened it up so hard, he purposely slammed that baby in the face. The baby, the store's surveillance camera recorded it, and the store owner called the police, and they aired that, and the father found out about it. And it was not him with his son. It was that mother's boyfriend. She said she didn't know he was treating her son like But honey, let me tell you something. One thing you not do is leave somebody that ain't got nothing to lose or nothing to give with your children and your car and your bridge or your EBT card, whatever you want to call it, and your bank card and money and all this that you're doing. And trust him with your kids. You don't care nothing about that kid. He does not care about these children. But then you all turn around and deny that same father access to his own. My man is being his daddy. My man take him to get their haircut. It only took because you gave him the money and let him use your car. No, you pay for both haircuts. I don't. No. Gotta be careful with your kids, man. And if you have problems, you better find somebody that really loves children. That you can say, this not me. Trying to get myself on my feet. I just need a little help for a small amount of time. And maybe somebody will help you with these things. But you cannot. Honey, let me tell you something. My grandson is terrible. But I love him like old full of soft shoe. And if my daughter ever needed me, no matter how much that little boy get on my last nerve with his beautiful little chocolate, she ain't got to worry about it. She knows she can bring my mom. Because before I see my baby abused around people that don't care for them, I'll take care of it. And it's a true story. Listen to this. It's a true story. This is about my grandson. Him and his older sister. It's no lie. And I'm not even going to say what family member it was. But the family member on the father's side was watching my grandchildren, right? So my daughter called and said, hey, I'm on my way to pick my babies up. Blah, blah, blah. It wasn't her. It's their dad that dropped them off, not her. So he said, okay. But because they don't like her, listen, cold as night, cold as it was, and as dark as it was that night. My daughter pulled up, and this person don't live in the best area. When my daughter pulled up, how about my grandkids was on the porch waiting for her in the dark? Grandbaby had his diaper bag on his backpack, on his back, and she holding the night bag, standing on the porch, and the door wasn't freaking open. Y'all hear me? It took everything in me and everything in my child to not put hands on that person. You understand me? Because I don't care how you feel about my daughter. Don't put your hands on her and don't harm my grandchildren. So, needless to say, they have not, and they will not go back. I don't care how nobody feels about that. But before, I don't care what it's for. If she needs somebody to watch her, and I can do it, I'm going to do it. And that's what all of them. And listen to me when I tell you I got 16 friends. And there have been times where I have had 10 of them at one time. Yes, I was on my mind. Yes, my cabinet's refrigerator was there. But guess what? All my grandkids got a relationship. Except for the two that live in California. I've only seen them over the internet because they live so far. But all of the other ones, I'm going to talk to them. I help raise them. I know birthdays. I'm there. If they call me, can you send me money for phone bill or this, that, or the other, they know they can call me. Only thing I tell them is don't call me just when you need something. Let me see how I do it. But I'm not gonna leave my grandkids anywhere. Just like I didn't, I raised my own children. I raised my own. Count on like one hand how many times they, stayed with somebody else or spent the night here or there. I didn't allow. I did not allow. Too much happened, and I get no, but because of my past, I was overprotected. I was over, but child, no, just can't. Gotta be careful. So yeah, that was a little sad situation, and I'll keep you guys updated about that little 4-year-old. His name was Jaden or Jalen. He's the cutest little boy, 4 years old, and that was just terrible. So I'm waiting to see what the police go, say about that. Any more about them? Yeah. And no, honey, I don't have any youth sector stuff to talk about because I guess we got enough people talking about it, honey. We got more than enough people talking about it, so it ain't no problem. Let's just keep it over here. Come on over here and get a word of inspiration. Talk about some trending news or something like that, some entertainment stuff. Other than that, it's just. Now let me tell y'all this. I don't know if y'all seen that movie. Monique, the reading. Baby. Monique from Baltimore, Maryland. Baby. That girl did her thing in that movie. Oh my gosh. She was crazy. That movie was good. The reading. That was a really good movie. It really was. I enjoyed it. Getting to the end. And the way that it left, it seems like there may be a reading too. I wouldn't doubt if it was. And I'm so glad to see her back to work doing her thing. Monique is really gifted. She really is. She's really gifted. And she did that, and she did a little part in BMF. The thing she did in BMF was just Monique being Monique. It was, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't it show all of her ability. I'm not a little comedic side, but it didn't show all of her ability like the reading did. The reading, baby. Woo! Helpful. And when she was like, they said something about the kids or whatever she said. When she said, F them kids. Her kids, not her own children. Baby, that line right there is going to go on like that line from the movie Ashtray. You know, like Ashtray, which when that guy in the movie with Crystal from Crystal Fox from Have and Have Not. I can't think of the name of that movie right now, but that was a good movie too. Then he sat down with the cigarette and he said Ashtray, which when he said B word, I'm sorry. That movie was good, but the reading, and I don't know. I thought about doing a little something. But anyway, that's that. And honey, I stay watching Tubi because Tubi ain't nothing but Detroit TV. You might as well. Detroit TV, they might as well have a name it Detroit because every independent uh movie filmmaker from Detroit got movies on Tubi. And one of my real good friends, um, well, let me stop. Let me stop. A person that I know very, 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 very well. I'm gonna say like sit down and have to like that. But I know him. his movie is on there, and he has another movie that's coming out in March that'll be on Tubi. But the first movie is called Diamond Girl. That was pretty good. So that's out on Tubi now, and his new movie. Oh my God! If I could right now, I would tell you know I'll be sharing that. But yeah, his movies are on there, and then of course Muller Films movies are on there, which is Murder Pay, the same guy that brought you Plug Love, Buffed Up, 9/11, a whole bunch of the Mule, and oh my God, it's so good. My old that I was driving, um, I, I patrolled, like patrolled around the neighborhood. I had a Lincoln, and I had so the hoop was an old Chrysler. They uh murder saw me in the car. Him, his friend saw me driving down the street in Detroit. Put me over your car, your car, your car. You want your car? Well, I was like, you want this? I think I paid $300 for the car or something for like 2,000 or something. And it was, I mean, it ran, but child, it was just that. It was just a car. But anyway, so and baby, they use that car in the morning. I said my car made it to the big screen. Lord, did you? So they used it in the movie, and that movie is called The Mule. And baby, they talked about my car. Baby, when I tell you that car didn't have no air, I had a little plug up fan that you plug into the light thing. I had the you can still see the light, the patrol light at the top. Um, the window would come down on one. The seats didn't just have pillows that I saw. What I tell you, man, they talked about my car. So, but baby, I don't care what you say, I will ride. You hear me? Me and my grandkids ride and patrolling. But I mean, baby, I got when I tell you that jump was over. Yeah, they pulled me over and said I got a picture, murder, and talk or whatever. And we became cordial as well. Again, not like we sit down and have tea like that. But boom, it was fun. And I'm gonna go. They have an acting and I'm gonna once I get physically able to do more, I'm gonna take classes or whatever. But yeah, that was fun. So all of their movies are included. I don't know about the one that I just mentioned, if that one. I know that's on Venmo, but they have other movies that are one movie is birthday birthday party or birthday something. That movie is so funny. That movie is funny. They did that one. And shoot, oh, they have a series called McGraw Avenue. It's like uh it's on a BMF uh power uh what's the power with the young the young Kane, that one. So it's kind of like on that thing, but it's like grimy. I mean, it's good. If you get into McGraw Avenue, you're gonna end up wanting to be in watch it because it's that good. There two seasons, and that's young. So then they have another uh fella. with one called Dirty D. It's a series, and I think it's coming. It's getting ready. Dirty D too. That was good. But any of these things you watch, you like that kind of stuff, you're gonna get caught up, and you're gonna end up like wanting to binge watch it. So it was really good. All of them were really good. McGraw Avenue, baby, some of that stuff happened on the edge of your seat. And I mean, they really get excited, like talking about the game and this, that, and the other. And I said that I might come on, but I might come on. And in the past, I've talked about how some of the music um, related to the 80s and the 90s and the drug game and all this, that, and the other, and how it was impacted my life because there were people in my life that I knew that were caught up in the drug game and lost their lives and that. And one of them, this guy did a documentary by he has a YouTube live on video on it. You guys can look that up. Steve Roussel, Freaky Steve, which is he's referred to in the White Boy Rick movie. He don't look nothing like it. But there are just like that movie didn't really tell it. And then the Freaky Steve in this video is probably a little closer to the truth, but it wasn't all the truth. So Steve and I grew up on the same block. He lived right across the street from me. On the same street, and the street that he got killed on was the street that I grew up on. And that's where I later ended up buying a family house and whatever. He got killed inside of the house. I was at home um, when they discovered him dead, but I wasn't. I had just up to drop my sister, friend, sister, off to work when they brought his body out. But Rick was there. Rick was out there. His uncle was out there. The whole block was packed. Um, he and White Boy Rick were really close friends. White Boy Rick used to hang out at the same high school I went to. And he used to hang out with the Baker brothers. Both of them passed away. The last one just a few months ago. But yeah, they were really close. So I used to see Rick on a frequent. And he lived in the neighborhood. So it was nothing to see Rick driving a Beamer, driving a gray or silver or a blue Corvette or whatever. It was more than one car he had. So always dressed to the nines, fresh high top Adidas, nanny go Adidas tracksuit, long, now the BMF, the long tail in the back, they really did wear those. All of that. So it was just a whole bunch of people, whole bunch of things. And then the guy that killed Freaky Steve was one of the notorious best friend hit crew, Rock and Ridge. The way that went down was not all true. Some of it was, some of it wasn't, but it was not all true. I think they dumbed it down for whatever reason. But yeah, I said that one day I would, come on and talk about me and the way that Steve and I used to get along. We did not get along, to be honest with you. We were frenemies, right? We grew up together. We knew each other. But his cousin was my boy. Like, that was my dog. We used to hang out together. He would ride with me to drop my dad off so I could keep his car for the day and pick him up from work. All the time, this boy got a gun with a silencer on it in his jacket, and I didn't even know it. He's like, I gotta ride around. I say, you across the street. You gotta come across the street with all that. He was like, yeah, people out to get me. People out to get me. And he used to joke with me and be like, come on, let's go in. Let's make a baby. Let's go half on the baby. I was like, boy, bye. He said, I'm just kidding. I'll never see you grow up. I'll be dead or in jail. I said, stop saying stuff like that. True story. Soon as I found out I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, his girlfriend was pregnant with his child, with his daughter. And before I can tell him I was pregnant, I was calling him on the phone. The phone was busy. I couldn't get through. The next thing I know, my neighbor in front of me came across the street and told me that he had just got killed at the gas station up the street and around the corner from where we live. So I never got to tell him, and he never got to see his daughter born or grow up. So it's like he prophesied his own life. But that was my boy. That was my boy. He came to me in a dream. After that, clean as he always wore a fresh baseball cap, snapback, fresh baseball cap, shoes and shirt, everything matching, chains on, all this, and they was so. And he was like, "I'm good." He told me he was all right, and that was it. And then 1 year later, almost to the day, after he was murdered by some of the same best friends group, the 1 year later, almost to the day, I think he died September 30th of 86, and Steve died like the 29th of 87. Honestly, it was crazy. And man, when I went to go see Steve, it was like the way that they had to patch him up. That baby was, his body was riddled with bullets. When I tell you they shot him everywhere. And his cousin, Pat, was in the house, and Pat's little sister, Steve told her, "Play dead, because that's the only way you're going to make it." That's the last words he got out. Said, "Play dead." Well, they shot Pat in the head. They did shoot the little girl, but they shot Pat in the head. And they emptied on Steve. They used the Uzi. Pat survived. And Pat is coincidentally the son of famous author Donald Goins, who was also killed. Him and his common law wife were killed in their place, in their apartment in Highland Park here in Michigan, right? Highland Park is like right in the middle of Detroit. It's crazy. It's right in the middle of Detroit. Because you go one couple of blocks east or west of it, and you back in Detroit. So it's right in the middle. So his dad was Donald Goins, the famous author, Donald Goins, which Donald Goins' books is in every prison in America, probably, because that's how they did. So, yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, we all grew up right in the hood together. I grew up with Steve. Steve and Rick were best friends. And me and Steve's cousin were really, really close. That was my dog. I mean, like my friend. Yeah. And they stayed like right directly across from me. And then 1, 2, 3 houses over. The house still stands, ironically. But nobody's lived in it in years. His grandmother moved out before that happened, so she wasn't even in the house when it happened. Thank God. But and his uncle had moved out too, so it was just Steve and Carlton, and sometimes his Carlton's sister Tracy would be there, and some of the younger kids or what have you. But yeah, it was crazy. It was really crazy. It was a crazy time growing up and it was so crazy how God kept me, because a lot of times Carlton would be in the car with me riding shotgun. And I had no idea. I thought he was just talking. But I had no idea that they was after him like that. And now check this out. While he was in the car when he got shot and killed, when he got shot up, there was another lady in the car with him. She got shot up too, but she made it. She survived. but he didn't make it. Man, I can tell you a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, I mean, my God, one of my cousins, her kid's father was one featured on one of these. Was it 60 Minutes or Dateline or one of these shows when they were talking about the drug crimes in Detroit, and they showed him in a in the morgue with a toe tag on, and that was my cousin's her son's father, and he was murdered, and the girl he was with at the time, she was a school teacher. She got shot 30 sometimes and she didn't make it. I mean, she made it. She got shot 30 sometimes, but she made it. But he didn't. But that was a robbery slash hit. That's what that was. So, and he was outside of his mom's house, parked at the doggone liquor store. And like she lived next door. So he was parked out there. But yep, they hit him, shot that Benz up like true. I don't know. I think she got hit 32 times. I think he got hit like 26 times. But they shot it up and killed him. It was crazy. Living in Detroit in those days, especially being young, a young female, was tempting because the girls was going after that money. All you would see, and I was a hairstylist. So all the women that would come in here in the salon that I worked in to get their hair done, and we would work. The one I used to do was a cousin of the Brown Boys, or the Best Friends group. And then I did a lot of the other ones that were girlfriends to all of these drug dealers, and they would have nice neck chains and hair done, and they're driving little Benzes, and you know they would buy them nice houses or whatever. But either their men got locked up, killed, or they got killed right along with them. So it was just one of those lives that, yeah, what profit a man that gain the world, but you lose your soul. You know, you lose everything. You don't get to see your kids grow up. Some of the girls became mules and got caught up. Some of the girls would take the bait because he would be driving and she's sitting on the passenger side, but the dope is under her seat. So she would take the fall for him, you know? And he would say, okay, I got your family. He set the family up, but he didn't live to keep doing it. Then, I mean, oh my God, then my grandma's funeral. All the ones that I'm talking about, the one that got killed at the store with the girl in the Maserati rig. Um, what's the other? It was Maserati rig, white boy rig. A whole bunch of them was at my grandma's funeral. After my grandma's funeral, it seems like all of them started dropping like flies. Boom, 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 boom. Getting hit at the clothing stores, on the freeway, in the hospital, on the way to somewhere, picking up the kids, in the car with this woman. They come in the house and the girl run out the back door. They kill him in the house and they go and shoot her in the back of the head while she running out the door. Just all kind of stuff. So it's like, really, what profit a man to gain the world and lose himself? Yeah, you living good, but will you live long enough to enjoy it? And so it's just, I always worked for mine. And not to mention, I had a very strict father. He didn't play that. And then on top of that, my uncles and that would not let me get involved with somebody in the streets. What they were doing, he wouldn't even allow me to see it. He had respect for my father. He would not allow it. So as a result of it, I stayed what they called in the little girl's place, even though I was grown. So, yeah. But anyway, that was life. That's the real BMF stuff, though. That's the real Detroit dope stuff. Yeah. That's that real, anybody that's my age from that time will tell you I'm not lying. You can go back and Google. Let me see, what can you Google to bring all this stuff? Best Friends Group. Go and Google Best Friends Group. And all the stuff that I was telling you will pop up. All of it. Not the little intricate stuff, but all of the stuff. You're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. So that the BMF movie or TV show, that's just a fraction of what was actually going on in Detroit in the 80s and 90s, because it was really hot in the 80s and 90s here. It was really, really hot. Like, oh my God, it was like crazy hot. But when it went, and it was cutthroat. It was really cutthroat because they was like, you get to making more money than me, I'll take you out and get your territory because that's looking too good. It was just cutthroat like that. It was cutthroat to the point to where they would sell somebody a few keys, $500,000 worth of dope, and they turn right back out and go rob them and take the money and the dope, and then go sell it to somebody else. They would do cutthroat stuff like that. It's crazy. So, like I said, that's just the BMF and the way that they when it comes on, they said it's loosely based. Some of this stuff might be true. That's exactly what they mean. It's loosely based. Some of it might be true. Some of it is Hollywood because it's grimier than what you see. But it would have to be rated X for them to show it because it's just that grimy. I mean, people. So, oh my God, and it was like for people had young men had a better chance in the Gulf War coming home than they did on the streets of Detroit at that time, in my opinion, because it was just that dangerous. It was the drug world was not something that you could just, and if so many, I lost a little cousin and his best friend. Yeah. And I know whoever it was that killed them was somebody that they knew. He died with a smile on his face. It was somebody he knew, somebody that sent them on that apartment building on Webb Street and blew him in the chest with a shotgun. Him and his best friend. His mother just died 2 years ago, and his brother. We just found his brother dead in his place last. What was that? Right around my birthday, as a matter of fact, because he wasn't right around was the 4th of July. That's when it was, because he didn't show up for the family function, and he always did. Found his body. It's crazy, but I digress. God is good. Keep your head up. Keep your head to the sky. No weapon that's formed against you will prosper. Every tongue that rises up against you in judgment, God shall condemn. Pray before anything. Pray. Let God lead you. Be true to yourself. Be true to God. Be true to the word. Be true to the ones that you love. I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I'll be back in a little bit. I gotta make it in this house because my battery about to die. Later for now, y'all. Love y'all. Hey.